have some fans, I noticed. Okay, all right, that was Frosty the Snowman. And very, very enjoyable piece for me. By the way, I was watching TV the other day, 25 Days of Christmas on ABC, and so saw Frosty Snowman 2. Anyone seen Frosty Snowman 2? Yeah, Frosty, if you haven't, Frosty gets a wife. And at this moment, I'd like to actually introduce, I hope she's in the audience. Is Kristen Davis in the audience? Would you stand? Where are you? This is my wife right here. We just got married. I took a little hiatus, called a honeymoon, and so the kids didn't see me for a week. It was very nice, very enjoyable. So I got back and I realized that Christmas was coming really soon, so we had to work on Christmas music. Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to play a song called Celtic Bell Carol, and so it's written by Robbie W. Smith. It's actually one of my favorite band composers. He writes music, and he actually works in Troy University, so he's actually from the state of Alabama. He writes wonderful band music, and this one's Celtic Bell Carol, which is like the Ukrainian Bell Carol, except it has this more of a Celtic feel to it, and it's one of my favorite. It involves a lot more percussion. So, Celtic Bell Carol.
see Patrick running around like a crazy man.
When we go to competitions and everything, they always get on to me for being a little more energetic and I'm trying to have too much energy. But I just believe music has to have energy, okay? Life has energy, music needs to have energy, needs to create emotion in people. Did you feel some of that emotion that we try to get? Yeah, very nice. Forgive us, we've been practicing in a large just gym, basically, in the junior high school, so we've not really had the chance to feel a concert hall to know how loud things were. We're just trying to fill a big gym, so it's a little loud outside. We apologize for that, but we had a good time, okay? We're going to move into a different part, okay? We'll see if we can try to do this. Okay, no lie. Hey, fan, can we scoot back a little bit, please? We don't want to, yeah, scoot back. We'll form our circle somehow.
How cute. They have a lot of drummers between the 7th and 8th grade. Oh, he's on this.
We've had a lot of fun in percussion class, and I'm trying new things, and I saw this at the school I was doing student teaching with about 5 years ago, and I thought it was really, really wonderful. It's called a trash can percussion ensemble, trash can band. It has several different names. You might find them playing at a halftime of basketball games. It's kind of an off-season kind of percussion thing that we do. Was glad to incorporate it, so Mr. Leek was saying, hey, you know they have this? And I'm just like, yes, they do have this, and I'd love to do that here. And so no lie, I was at Home Depot, you know, finding stuff to bang on drums with. Does this one sound good? Does this one sound good? And I'm sure if they're watching security cameras, they're like, what in the world is he doing? And then I grabbed my big card of like all that and one card and walked out, and they're like, okay. So this is the best way they have to set it up, okay? All right, and you know, okay, this is practicing my storytelling. Okay, at the North Pole, there are elves. Yes, stay with me, okay? These elves, they make toys all year long, okay? And so they make toys for all the children. And but there are other elves besides those who make toys. There's some elves that help clean, and those elves that help take care of the reindeer. And I'm sure there's stuff that has to be built, you know, as Santa's production is kind of getting more and more, as more people on the earth and everything. But there are also elves that take out the trash. Yes. Okay? Now these elves, they as you know, all elves are musical, right? I mean, they're singing Christmas songs all year round. That's how you know we got our Christmas songs, because the elves started singing them, and that's all the ones they know, okay? All right? Unless we teach them something else. But these elves spend a lot of time outside, so they don't really get to sing as much. So whenever they get the chance, they get a little break. Santa gives them a little hot cocoa break. They bring out the trash cans and they play with them. This is called Elf Trash Can Christmas. everything kind of set back up. Quietly, please. Quietly, please. Keep too far. Okay, all right. I did find out there's actually a downside of trying to do fun stuff is they have too much fun. And so sometimes you're in the class, you're like, all right, calm down. We're going to be okay. Let's actually finish this song because they have 1,000 ideas. And actually, we took part of that song. We started out reading music, and then whatever's after the remix, we wrote ourselves. And we just had a really good time just making it up as we went. So a lot of time for creativity. And so a lot of times I sit there and try to show some really excited students. So it worked out really well. So I hope you enjoyed it, okay? While they're finishing set, let me direct your attention to the first part of our bulletin. It talks about announcements and reminders. First of all, this is the business side of things, so if you can hang with me just a second. Okay? We're starting something in January called Smart Music, and Smart Music has been around for a few years, but we're going to start implementation of that at Scottsboro. And I'm very excited about Smart Music because Smart Music is a computer program that helps band directors assess music, I guess how they're learning, okay? And so not only can we assess, we can put assignments on there, we can allow them to, they can play for a computer program with a microphone. They play for a computer, it has a microphone on there, and it can tell if they got the right notes or right rhythm, and it actually shows it on a diagram. Did they go too high? Did they play before the note? Did they play after the note? Okay? And it'll actually score a percentage. And they got 90% of the notes, 90% of the rhythms. Just a very, very accurate way of of diagramming how they're doing. And also I told you we can assign assignments to them. We can help them. Those who want to be challenged more can have that, and then those who need a remediation can have that as well. So the good news is we're going to begin implementation into the classroom as soon as we possibly can. There is a program a part of Smart Music that allows us to work with parents. So there could be a chance that in some time future that we can have that on computers at your homes, so that they can play for computers at your home, and it would actually send their results to me. And the way that I work it is they have an example they play for me, and they play as many times as it takes to get it correct. And then they can send it whenever they want to, send the results. So very, very super excited about that. And so if you feel like your student's behind on any of their work or anything, we're going to get them caught up. And I'm glad to have any conversations with you guys to discuss that. Okay? And a lot of you called and talked to me this year, and I'm very thankful for that. Please call and talk to me. If you have any worries, just call and talk to me. We'll work it out. Leave a message. I will call you back. So I appreciate that. Okay? We are going to try to do a Collins/Scottsboro Junior High School booster meeting sometime in March as just a booster organization as separate from the high school. Okay? It's not going to be very much. I'm not going to ask a whole lot of time from you. But I want us to kind of think about what can we do for the bands that are 6th grade through 8th grade, okay? And as they prepare to be 9 through 12. And so I'm going to talk about that. It's not going to be really that big of a deal, but maybe just meeting and talking and just kind of figure out what we want to do, because there are some things that we have facility-wise, instruments-wise, things that could be better. And I know you care about the band, and I know you'd like to see good things happen. So I'd like to have that conversation with you at a different time. Also, if you could do this tonight, that would be great. There is a text messaging system. Okay, and there's one for Collins and there's one for the junior high school. If you could sign up for that, you just text that phrase. It's an @something phrase to 81010. I know that's not a number, but it's the way they do it now. It goes to a number, everything works fine. Once you do that, they send you a message back to ask your name, and then once that's said, then if I want to send a message, I can send a mass-wide text message saying, hey, just to let you know, we have a concert this Thursday at 6:30 or whatever. Make sure your children have your polos, blah, 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 blah. I can say all kinds of things that will help you out get ready. Okay? Or I can say, hey, we got tests this day, we have this event. Or I can just say, hey, have a wonderful Christmas, And of course I won't spam you or I won't text you all the time, but it just allows me to text you guys. The only problem is you can't text me back, and that's the reason why we use that as a Scottsboro school system, is that way that we can text and no one texts us back. So we can send out information about assignments and other things. Also, number 4 on this kind of long list of things to talk about, I'm really considering the thought of starting a middle school jazz band, okay? And I'm really excited because I think the high school jazz band is doing a wonderful job, and I just want to lock into that and have a good time too doing the jazz band. So there could be a possibility for that. The kid may have already talked to you about that, but we'll kind of get there when we get there. Just stay tuned. And finally, before we finish with our last piece for tonight, okay, Special thanks to Mr. Hass, my principal at Scottsboro Junior High School, and Miss Petty, who's the principal here at Collins Intermediate. They both have worked really hard to make things work for me and make things work for me and Mr. Leak. And so I'm very excited to work with them and call them friends, and just super great people to work with. I also want to thank Mr. Jimmy Lee, who's the high school band director. I don't know anyone. Stole my phrase. I don't know anyone who works harder than Mr. Lee, and so he makes me look bad on a normal day. And so I'm thankful to know him. And in honesty, he has the biggest heart I've ever seen. And so sometimes I just stare at him. So he thinks I'm just like, just standing around doing nothing. But I'm just like, wow, this guy, he really cares about what he does. And if I could be half the music educator than he is, that would be kind of arriving somewhere. So I'm very thankful to call him a friend, and very thankful for him to conduct with me tonight. So finally, thank you parents for all you do. You've dumped a lot of money into these instruments, okay? I'm going to ask you to dump more money into these instruments so it's all over with, okay? But it makes them sound so good, and it makes everything happy. So we'll work with you, okay? We'll make it all happen, all right? Finally, thank Guys Music Company, because they have come and they have repaired your instruments without asking questions and all that good stuff. And so I'm happy to have a representative who walks in. Mr. Carswell walks in every week with a smile on his face and asks me what needs to be fixed. And I just hand him a bunch of instruments, okay? And so I'm very thankful for that. All right, finally, this is the big piece that's making me sweat, all right? This is our last piece. It's called, it's a really long name for it too, Christmas Festival Overture. I always want to do a Sausalito piece, and I have to, I've never done one because it's kind of been some literature I've not really, it's been a little bit over my head. So I wanted to try the Christmas part of it, obviously. And so, super excited. It's what I call an academic piece. It's got, and it's also a medley, so it's got several different Christmas pieces in there, okay? Which makes it a little bit harder for those of us with shorter attention spans. And so sometimes it's tough for us, okay? So my attention span is short as well. So we're going to try this, and I'm going to walk over here and get my stand. But I hope everyone has a wonderful night. We're going to finish with this piece, and then we're going to wave you on goodbye. Okay, you can take your kids and make sure you compliment them. Okay, and all students, make sure you thank your parents because they probably put that instrument in your hand. Okay, so all right, thank you very much. Reorganizing the library. We kind of tore out the whole library and built new shelving, and thanks to the Board of Education for getting that squared away. But McKinley Reese over here, wave McKinley. Okay, he found this. Okay, I don't know how many piles of music he found this under, but he found it on the bottom probably, blew the dust off of it, and told me this is the song you need to play before he even heard it. Okay, so I played it a couple times, put it away for a few weeks, and I was like, and he kept on asking about every single day, and then I finally brought it out, listened to it again. I was like, I think it'll work. So hats off to McKinley Reese. Thank you very much.